This news shows just how awful people are. Like, unironically so, the time we live in is filled with people that are utterly awful and they are given a platform. And I'm not talking about this football player, by the way. I'm talking about the people reacting to him. Like, they just can't comprehend that there are individuals that think differently than them. They do not feel comfortable knowing that out there is a person that has different opinions and different worldviews. And hey, that's okay, because at the end of the day, he's not a politician. Like, he's not starting a political movement. He's just talking about his opinions that you disagree with. And I know that for some people, these opinions may be perceived as disgusting, but here's the thing. In a liberal and free society, being disgusted by things is okay. Like, being disgusted is a human emotion. And it is there in order to protect you. Like you look at something vile, like a corpse, and you're disgusted by it because if you weren't and you would interact with it, you would get sick. So it is a evolutionary thing that human beings have discussed. But in a free society, okay, well, you see the disgusting thing and you just avoid it. In a fascist society, everything that people find disgusting needs to be destroyed. It needs to be abolished. So you go on just by ascribing the label of disgusting to various things that may not even be so, just to have a reason to attack them, just to have a reason to go over them. And I feel like this is the direction that modern society is going towards. Because for the opinions of this guy, he was actually doxxed by the Twitter account. Like, they basically said, hey, by the way, this is where this guy lives, in order to try to dox him. Now, why would they do that? Why would they do that? It's like, hey, this is the individual that you really hate online. This is where he lives. Is to inject fear and terror into other individuals who would have the audacity to exercise their opinion. And again, the question should be, are people allowed to have opinions that, for the sake of the argument, are incredibly bizarre, crazy, and out there? The answer should be yes, if you want a free society. If you want fascism, then the answer is no. Like, everybody has to think the same way. Like, here in Romania, we have this guy. He is also the owner of a football club. His name is Gigi Becali, and he thinks he's God's warrior. He's a warrior of light. And he goes out and he says about these ridiculous things. But no one really cares, because at the end of the day, he is the owner of a football club. Like we only care what he talks about football, and we only care about his opinions related to football. Like, everything else doesn't really matter because he is not renowned for that. However, in the United States of America, which is supposed to be a more free and more just society than here in Eastern Europe, no, like, if you do not say the correct things, if you do not say the stuff that people on Twitter agree with, then you are a prime target for harassment. And what's interesting is, like, when individuals are harassing public people for speaking things that are against the left, there is no calling out amongst members of the left. Like, they're not saying, hey, what you're doing is not cool. There is no checks and balances. It seems that everything goes. It's very interesting, isn't it? So, like, what did he say that was so egregious, that was so beyond the pale, that it got so many leftists on Twitter and journalists to freak out about it, to the point that it was trending, that even I from Romania now know about this guy? Well, apparently he says that, in his opinion, one of the most important titles a woman can have is that of homemaker. And again, it's like his opinion. It's what the man believes. He's not allowed to have opinions, right? Like, he's not allowed to think outside the box. No, get back into the box, say the correct thing, right? Like, if he would have said, the most important thing that a woman can do is to slave at a corporation in a cubicle for 12 hours a day for minimum wage, then everyone would have applauded. It's like, yeah, that's corporate America, you're promoting it. But if he's basically saying, yeah, I mean, I think that for a woman it's important to be a homemaker, like to spend more time with the family rather than spend more time with the HR and the corporation, oh, like, you're destroying corporate America. Oh, like, do you know what you're saying? What would the Democrats do? Again, these people cannot separate the fact that the man is entitled to his own opinions. And even if he says them in a public setting, it shouldn't fucking matter. Like, you're telling me that when you have athletes kneeling for the national anthem, that is free speech. Like, that is something that needs to be promoted, that is something that needs to be championed, that is perfect. If any politician even dares to speak against that, oh, like, the politician is cracking down on the human rights of the athlete. But when you have an athlete saying, yeah, you know, like the way things used to be like 50 years ago, yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, it's my take, you know, that's nice. Oh, the horror, the humanity, the sky is falling. Oh, let's dox that guy. Like, I just want you to understand, right? Like, there is an individual out there which is paid probably pretty well in order to manage the Twitter account of this corporation. And they risk getting fired. Like they put their job at the line. They're putting at the line their ability to put food in their kids' mouths just to dunk on this guy. Like, if that is not the definition of being deranged, I don't know what is. And of course, you know, apparently he's got other evil right-wing takes that no one in America shares, I guess, or it's only a fringe minority in America that is pro-life. Like, how can you say something like this? Like, who do you think you represent? Like, absolutely no one thinks like you, right? Like, he's apparently pro-life. He believes that the COVID-19 lockdowns and the tyranny of diversity, equity, and inclusion is wrong. And all of this, apparently, was commented at a Catholic liberal arts school. Oh my goodness. How many Catholics share his opinions? Like, how can he say something like that amongst Catholics? It's bizarre, isn't it? Right? So, again, there are people on Twitter that literally can't sleep at night because this Catholic goes to a Catholic school and shares Catholic ideology. Does this make any sense? Like, no, this is 2024, isn't it? And again, like, they view it as incredibly harmful because this one guy said this. How many other people say the opposite, though? Like, how many actors, politicians, influencers, how many people say literally the opposite that he is saying? So you're feeling so insecure in your position. You're feeling that your ideology is so fragile that when you have, like, one single guy going out of Catholic school and saying some Catholic shit, you're like, oh no, this can't happen. Oh no, the inhumanity. Can you imagine? Man, like, the vitriol and the hatred that I have saw on Twitter towards this guy is insane. The only reason that I'm not even showing it on this channel, it's because it's usually like small accounts that have like maybe 100 or 200 followers, but there's tens of thousands of them. These random chuckleheads just appearing, taking a moment of their life in order to throw in some vitriol towards a person that they don't even know, nor do they care about. It's interesting, and most of them don't even care about football, because I looked at their timeline. Like, they're not even interested in it. It's just like, oh, well, who do I have to hate today? Oh, this guy. Okay, let me go on Twitter. Let me say, oh, yeah, vile person. How is it? Bigotry, getting fired. So, anyway, he then goes on and talks about his beautiful wife. He's got this 20-minute speech, which went viral on social media. And Betty pointed out that his own mother is a clinical medical physicist. And he drew ire from the fans of Taylor Swift, who is dating fellow Chief player Travis, a relationship that famously helped bring many new female fans to the NFL. Again, like, why do I care, like, who watches the NFL? I don't understand. Oh, yeah, because I'm reading it from the NPR. Like, if I'm into knitting, or I'm into, I don't know, making ships in bottles, why do I care about the demographic of other people that share my hobby? Why do we have to be a community? That doesn't make any sense. But yeah, apparently Taylor Swift is dating a football player, so more women are watching the NFL. Like, okay, I'm neutral towards it. Like, can you even be neutral towards it? I'm not even positive or negative. It's like something like, all right. It's like telling me that more elderly people are watching the NFL or more kids are watching the NFL, and I'll be like, all right, I guess, you know, that's good, I suppose. But no, we have to pretend like, oh my God, breakthrough, breaking the glass ceiling, and it's like penicillin has been rediscovered. That's how you need to act. If you don't act this way, you get canceled. Let me know what you guys think, and if you want to support the channel, there is a link into the pinned comment that takes you to my subscribe star, or if you want, there's also another link which takes you to my live stream channel. Yes, I do have a live stream channel, and over there I live stream every day. Hopefully I will see you guys there, and until later, take care.